Well, we are back. Welcome, everyone. If you are joining live, you will be able to chat with us on Twitch or on YouTube. You can also watch this live stream on Twitter. We are at Probably DGens everywhere. I am wearing a business blazer today because serious business.
I love it.
This is a new look. I feel like a DGen news reporter. I guess that is what I am, right? So,
yeah.
Thank you for joining for the 8 o'clock DGen news.
We are going state of the NFT Union.
This show episode format is called the State of the NFT Union. This is number 6, and we are going to be talking tonight about what is going on in the world of NFTs and Web3.
That's right.
We missed last week. Somebody was too busy to join, and it wasn't me.
It was me. It was me. I was the.
She said busy.
Yeah, a lot going on.
A lot going on. So, what are we going to talk about tonight?
We are going to talk about all of the things ERC-4337. We're going to talk about Meta, Amazon, the Yuga summoning, which just went live. We're going to burn a pass, and then we're going to wrap it up with a recap of the Beeple studio opening that was this past weekend in Charleston.
And you were at the Beeple studio opening, so this is a first-hand account, correct? So
True.
Make sure you stick to the end to hear all about it. She has some footage, so it's going to be good, I hope. I haven't seen it yet or heard the stories, so I'm excited myself. If you are joining live, welcome. And if you are watching after this has been broadcast, we will chop this video up with timestamps in the description box so you can hop to whatever you are interested in hearing about. But we do recommend that you just watch us for the entire time, because why wouldn't you? Aren't we like?
Because that's obviously what you're doing.
Obviously. Let's just do it. All right, we're back. So first up on the agenda, the ERC-4337 token. This is a little bit of stale news in the NFT world since everything moves at lightning speed, and this is from last week, but we're going to talk about it anyway. If you haven't heard, if you live under a rock, then
welcome.
Welcome. I'm going to tell you all about it, but you probably already know at least a little bit about it. So this was announced and launched at WalletCon in Denver before ETH Denver. So this is maybe more than a week ago now at this point, right? So this is an exciting announcement, this new ERC-4337 token, because it paves the way for users to do wallet recovery. And how it works, I'm very intrigued with. I haven't seen it in action yet, but it's actually a smart contract, which they are calling account abstraction, or I guess account abstraction is just like a description of the way that the wallet works. So account abstraction, you use a smart contract wallet, which is then tied to a traditional wallet, and the traditional wallet interacts with it, and the wallet can be secured without a seed phrase and instead use something like two-factor authentication or a fingerprint, which sounds both horrifying and exciting. I don't know, because we always talk about 2FA. 2FA is a little shady. Fingerprint sounds pretty good to me, but it depends how 2FA is allowed to be set up, how secure it's going to be, but I'm sure it's pretty secure. I haven't seen it in action yet, like I said. So if your seed phrase is compromised, you can switch to a new wallet that will give you access to the account abstraction wallet that you set up, which makes a new way for you to recover your private keys. I hope this is making sense. So that's exciting news, because that has been a big problem in the space, is getting locked out of wallets or having your wallet seed phrase compromised. It creates a huge mess for everyone. So hopefully this will be a big step in the right direction moving forward. But besides that, the smart contract wallets themselves actually come with a whole host of other exciting features. So what are those things?
Do tell.
Because they are completely on chain, as a smart contract is, these wallets will allow for paying fees with ERC-20 tokens and also non-ETH assets. And I believe that what assets it's going to accept are baked into the smart contract. So that will be different depending on the case. They can also do multiple transactions at once, which is a huge relief. So let's say that you are going to buy an NFT with ETH and you're also going to switch some Matic to ETH in order to make that purchase. You can do all of that now in one transaction, which will greatly reduce the gas fees that you have to pay. So thumbs up on that as well.
Yeah.
What I think is the most exciting feature is the subscription feature that these smart contract wallets can now do, also known as recurring payments. So this opens up
a
huge door for being able to collect recurring payments with. I
mean, it unlocks another utility, essentially, for people who are saying that there's no purpose to all of this, absolutely. That's huge. It's amazing.
So I think that's the most exciting feature besides the wallet recovery stuff itself. You'll also be able to do cheaper multi-signatures on your wallets, which has also been quite cumbersome. If you have to pay per signature, no longer can do multiple SIGs cheaper. And then the last feature that this new ERC-4337 token is opening up is that you'll be able to use some dApps without paying for every transaction, which is also nice and opens the door for some more innovation with dApp development. That was like get through.
Yeah. Is there a spot we can go to get more information? Just Google it. Do your own research.
Probably ChatGPT knows. Actually, ChatGPT has not been trained on the latest data. I try all the time, so we can't get any tips out of the AI. I would assume on the Ethereum website would be the best place to go if you want to really get nerdy and read all about it. Or Vitalik on Twitter, probably find some information there.
He's too busy on dates.
I saw that he was on a date.
Freaking out.
He could have. People make such leaps or assumptions. He could have just been
let the man sit in a booth with someone.
Yeah. The poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, this sounds awesome. It sounds like there is a lot of opportunity from a building standpoint, but also just improving usability all around. I can't help but think that some implementation of this can certainly help onboard more people from Web 2 into Web 3, because it takes away maybe not some of the confusion, but some of the, scariness of it. If you can recover, your seed phrase, if you've lost it, whatever the case may be. It's very exciting.
Very exciting. I will say though that, the going through the information of what the ERC-4337 token can do was a lot. It's very technical, daunting to read through. So what we really need are really good user experience designers in the space to obfuscate all of this information into a front-end experience where nobody has to think about what I just said.
What do you know about that?
because even when I can't see it, it's like visualize it, it's hard to talk about just code wise how it all is going to work. So but regardless, the engineering is there. So now it's just a matter of making it user friendly on the front end.
Very cool.
Tell me about Meta.
Oh man, they've got a few things going on. So I think the biggest thing you may have heard is that they have sunset their whole NFT feature. And this is an article from TechCrunch. This first line is, I'm obsessed. Looks like Meta is not going to make it. Some may put it. So they have clearly sunset this feature, and a lot of discussion around this. This is a tweet that so we have talked about this. I think the key point here is that they took to Twitter to announce the fact that they are sunsetting the NFT feature within Instagram. And I feel like that is a signal in and of itself that perhaps having this feature within Instagram was never a really good fit. And oh no.
Well, I mean,
So
I
this
feel like Instagram in general is just having an identity crisis. Like they
yes.
just threw everything into the app at once. NFTs, TikTok, tried to do, there was like that status thing that's in there, like when you go into your
Oh
messages,
yeah.
you can like set a status now. I was like, what are
Yep.
they doing?
Yeah,
They're
they're
just
all
like
over the place.
all over the place.
Yeah, I think that clearly they've invested a lot of money into, the Web3 space and trying to create a metaverse. But I think these are just a lot of thoughts of my own. But I feel like what they did was thought that they could implement NFTs pretty easily within the application. And because they have a built-in community, that it would just take off. And I like what this person said on Twitter is, why would a company named Meta stop supporting NFTs? And it really is about the ownership, and the Meta is anti, data sovereignty and allowing individuals to own their own data. And I pulled this out because I feel like this person has similar thoughts to my own, but the comments. So these are definitely people who are like, no value, they're not a thing. Like, just you're confused. NFTs are the illusion of ownership, and exactly what they want. So here you have the naysayers. And then, of course, here are the people who are probably a little bit more on our side where we're like, well, yeah, not shocked the fact that Meta has sunset this NFT feature. And I don't think it's like any sort of a bad signal for the space at all.
No.
And NFT God does a really good job of asking some questions here. So he's asking how many people owned NFTs on Instagram, and this person's saying doesn't matter, has zero impact, short-sighted, not fatal. About Meta in general, that this isn't going to put them under. And again, he's asking how many NFTs did you own at Instagram? Zero. So
I never even connected my wallet because I don't trust Mark Zuckerberg. Here's the big problem with Meta is that they have ruined their image. Even with the rebranding of their name, we still know it is Mark Zuckerberg. We know it's Instagram. We know it's Facebook. We know that they have done psychological experiments on the public with their algorithms. They have shadow banned people. They have silenced, deplatformed, and done all sorts of censorship stuff. They have lost the public trust. They have been in front of Congress. It is a mess, and I don't think they're going to recover from that reputation. And that's probably part of the reason that nobody wanted to touch it.
Yeah. And as NFT God said here, outdated social media site that is, a decade behind TikTok.
Yeah.
So they're way behind at this point. So I don't know. I'm not upset that they have sunset the feature. I think honestly, it's a good thing. There was a comment in this thread that I felt was kind of short-sighted. Somebody in here, excitement, repercussions. Okay. Meta may not dominate the NFT market, but its decision to stop supporting NFTs on its platforms might have repercussions. So the repercussions are currently nothing serious, but it might make other companies do the same. This could also have an impact on how quickly the entire area develops. I disagree across the board with all of that. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like Meta is the place to onboard people into Web3. It's just not ever going to be the platform to do that. So I don't think that there are really any serious repercussions. And on top of that,
I don't think so either.
Yeah. And on top of that, we've got a bunch of layoffs again. So was it just yesterday? What is today, the 15th? Yeah, just yesterday, they'd announced another 10,000 or 11,000. I'm a little confused on some of the data, but Tuesday, 11,000 jobs. It's 13% of their workforce. And so as of September 2022, Meta has reported a headcount of 87,314. So they've reduced their headcount. So it's down to 66,000 now by 25%.
So, I mean, if you're even thinking from a product side, they obviously cut things that are just eating money. So if nobody is using the NFT feature, which
Yeah.
I'm guessing they aren't,
Yeah.
that because they didn't really build it out enough, they probably cut it. It was on the chopping block. And Mark Zuckerberg made a huge mistake going all in on Oculus VR
Yes.
and kind of not paying so much attention to Instagram and Facebook as TikToks began to dominate the
Yep.
internet. So, like I said, they're having an identity crisis. I think that they could fall from grace. I
I do
honestly
too.
do.
They've been living in their own
Crazy
world for
to
a while.
say. They
And
have.
after I'm seeing a lot of articles about just there are no more tech industry darlings anymore. This doesn't exist in the industry, and I
No,
totally agree with that.
the tech industry is really in a spot right now. Nobody likes anyone and everybody is shady. So we're just going to have to wait and let this
Yeah.
play out. So we've got some people in the chat. Let's say hi, Jeremy.
Yeah. And
Hello.
hi, Jeremy.
And Beals. Hello. Thank you for joining. We're happy you're
Beals.
here, even though you're late.
Yes.
Beals
And I
joins
want to
us most
say,
of the time.
say really quickly, Beals, thanks so much for joining us from Twitch. So that's exciting.
Yes, because we just set up Twitch and we don't know if anybody's going to go over there yet. So we're happy that you're in there.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Cool.
All right. So on a more positive note, since we just talked about one of the biggest tech companies in America sunsetting NFTs, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have exciting news coming out of Amazon that they are getting into NFTs. Now, this isn't actually relevant. This isn't a relevant post to what I'm about to talk about, but I did find it on Amazon Web Services page. They have a whole section here explaining non-fungible tokens and how they work and everything. So if you're wondering if Amazon really understands what is going on with this stuff, the answer is yes. I read the article. So they know they're Amazon and they've got some of the best engineers in the world. Now, how they're going to execute their NFT platform, I'm very, very curious to see. One thing I will say about Amazon that they do extremely well is user experience. And if you don't know the difference between user experience and user interface design, Amazon is one of the best places to see the difference, because if you look at the site, it's kind of a hot mess. But if you use the site, you can't stop spending money. Am I right or am I right? And that is because they are masters of user experience design. They have got they've got me locked into their evil Jeff Bezos empire of ruining small business everywhere, and I can't stop purchasing crap on Amazon. It's a really bad habit. But that was a rant. That was a deviation. Anyway, let's get back on track. So talking about Amazon's NFT platform, what they're planning to do. This is set to launch next month, April 2023. So coming up very, very soon. And they did say that when it launches, that they're planning to notify all Amazon Prime customers. And so everybody's going to get it. This isn't like a select rollout thing. It's just going to be like, here it is. We have a digital collectibles area now. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to call it. So
sure.
I highly doubt that they are going to say NFT in the current market. So be prepared for that. So once it goes live, I've heard that they will initially offer 15 NFT collections to US-based customers. I do not know if there will be NFT collections offered to international customers, but I've found in several pretty solid sources that there will be 15 NFT collections for US-based customers. You will be able to purchase these digital collectibles via a credit or debit card using your Amazon account. So I'm assuming they have streamlined the user experience of this, as they always do. It's going to be single button click to buy that NFT, just as their entire. They have a patent on that, by the way. If you don't know that information, this is one of the biggest.
Really?
This is one of the biggest user experience patents that has ever existed. Is that the single click to buy button was patented by Amazon, and that is a user experience patent, which is kind of crazy.
That's
and
cool. I've never thought through that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you're going to notice that nobody else can do it because they'll get sued by Amazon, which is
And I'm
crazy.
thinking legally, how did they go through all those hurdles to get that set up? But anyways,
Because they were so early to the internet that they were able to like
make the
dazzle
rules.
and they made the rules. So, expect that they're going to be able to do that. What is interesting about this is that if you're going to be able to do that single Amazon click to buy with your credit or debit card, that means that you aren't necessarily using or interacting with cryptocurrency, which leads me to believe that this is a sort of centralized solution. I don't know what blockchain that these digital collectibles are going to be on, or if you will be able to take them out of the Amazon giant wallet or whatever they have set up and move it into your own. That I do not know. So that will be very interesting to see. Yes.
What if they are building out a digital Amazon warehouse, an Amazon warehouse metaverse, that's where you have to go to view your digital collectibles? It's the Amazon metaverse. I don't want to go, but
oh my God. I don't know if what you just said is the same vision that it sparked in my head because I went ADHD for a minute, but I was like, oh my God, they're going to do like a walkthrough store metaverse experience. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh my God. I'm not ready. No, it'll be
No.
cool. Amazon. I hate them, but I love them. What can we do? It's like one of those things. I don't want to buy things from them, but my goodness, do they have a lot of stuff on their site? And it comes so fast to my dang door. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just, they got me. So the United States of Amazon, it's horrible. So more info about these NFTs though, something that relates to what you're saying about the possibility of like a metaverse Amazon with buying goods that way. These NFTs, at least part of one of the collections, I don't know if all of them are going to be like this, will be used to purchase a physical along with the NFT that you are buying, and they will be fashion oriented. So these are going to be linked to clothing. I am assuming because on their website, they've recently launched a luxury section. That's probably where this is going to reside. And I've had a lot of thoughts myself about this, about how luxury fashion is collectibles and could live with a digital twin avatar, digital collectible NFT somewhere and be tradable that way. It's an idea that I've thought a lot about that I could not figure out a way to do it. If they've done that and figured it out, I will be super impressed. That's my prediction that's maybe what they're doing.
Yeah, I feel like fashion NFTs are on the up and up right now.
I think they're on the up and up. And also I think that Amazon's fashion game has really skyrocketed. They have on their site, they have influencers. I don't know if you've been paying attention to these things, and it's kind of hard to find on their site, but somehow I end up there and I'll be like watching some influencer talk about things to buy on Amazon, and my God, it gets sucked in. This blazer is not from there, but you know what? The top underneath is. Look, they got me. I don't know. So their fashion game is really solid, and I can't wait to see what they have done here. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
I think Beals brought up a really interesting comment here too. And I would go ahead and guess that this is probably their rollout strategy as well. Similar to Reddit's, where it's, oh my God, why can I not think of the word right now? Like not a staged rollout, but oh my God.
We used to do this soft launch?
Yeah, kind of like a soft launch. You just roll it out to a certain percentage. If that's good, then you increase the percentage,
MVP,
so on and so forth until 100%.
What are you trying to say?
I can't think of the word.
But anyways, MVP product. They're going to test it out. Amazon throws so many things against the wall, though. So if it doesn't work out, they'll be like, "You never saw that. Buy some more books." No, what are people really buying? I can't stop buying clothes.
People buy everything. They've got
Somebody,
items.
wait, we gotta. What are y'all wearing? Well,
I'm
you
gonna go
missed the
ahead and guess
beginning.
there.
You missed the
Referring to
beginning
the
of the
face paints.
show. I have shoulder pads on tonight because I really mean business talking about Web3 and NFTs.
And if you are new
And
here, we do face paints every single
mhm.
time we record, do live. It is a part of our Probably DGen's brand. So
Yes, it is. And why do we wear the face paints? Because why not? So deal
because
with
we
it.
can. We can.
So funny story before you move on.
Yeah.
I had a rather influential NFT project leader reach out to me about wanting us to interview them.
Mm.
And instead of being like, oh my God, I would so love to come on our show, I was like, you can only come on if you wear face paints. These are our terms and conditions. Do you agree or not? And then they ghosted me for like a week.
Because they were waiting to get their paints. They were face paint shopping and they were trying to find the correct palette and waiting on shipping.
I did tiptoe backwards, like backtrack, be like, hey, so I was just kidding. You can come on without face paint. And they were like, oh my God, no, we thought that was hilarious. We were all laughing over here. We're just really busy, but we're going to do it eventually. And I was like, oh, okay, good. So
be like,
I'll send
JK,
you the face paints.
You don't have to wear the face paints, but you do have to wear the filter.
Yes, correct. So wait, we got a compliment. I love the Ultimate Warrior face paint. Is that my face paint?
I don't know, because I don't know what's going on with mine.
I don't know.
Let's get into some real DGen stuff.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. So Bored Ape Yacht Club, they just announced just a few hours ago at 7:18 that the summoning has begun. And so the summoning is taking the sewer pass from playing the Dookie Dash game, and we're now burning it to create a power source. There's no... You're so needy. I forget to do this every time. Okay. Oh, one more. There we go. All right. So the summoning has begun. They gave us a link to the site, and we're actually going to burn my sewer pass here as well. There's no rush to this, so hopefully there's not outrageous gas. There are 8 types of sources. Some of them are more rare than others. This great cosmic war looms in the distance. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if we go to the site that they've given us access to, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this, if you don't mind. Shall we do it?
Yeah, we're going to do it live.
Okay. I'm unlocking my ledger, and I can't do numbers and talk at the same time.
While you're unlocking, KB says, Blondie, you look amazing.
Oh, am I the blondie?
Wink. Oh, it's obviously not me. Well, I guess I got kind of blonde here. You're more blonde.
I'm blushing. I'm blushing for real. Okay. I'm gonna connect my wallet. Maybe we're not gonna do this. I literally had this set up. Hold on. I'm gonna remove this.
Well, while she's figuring it out, we got another question here. What's your favorite NFT? For me, it's obviously Overlord Creeps. That's my favorite. It's my PFP on Twitter.
I would say, I don't know. Sad Girls Bar?
Oh, really? You do love Sad Girls Bar.
I do.
I still need to buy one of those. I'd like to go to one of their events sometime. It's a very cool NFT collection. If you haven't heard of it, Sad Girls Bar. They are exactly what they sound like. JPEGs of sad girls at a bar, and they have boyfriends that are sad.
I'm gonna try this in a different browser and see if that works. Hold on. Sorry, guys. This is such a bummer. Maybe I had the wrong.
Let's figure it out. How's everybody doing?
Wallet connected.
Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in and you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. So we are now broadcasting live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So you can see us in all of those places now, not just YouTube, which is exciting news. The only bummer is that you can't chat with us on Twitter. You would have to come on Twitch or YouTube.
I have been checking periodically, which is when my eyes really start to dart to the side, and I don't think anybody's unfortunately said anything to us.
I'm just gonna at Elon Musk later and ask him to add that feature where you guys can chat.
All right, this is not going to happen because now it's telling me that my MetaMask password is wrong, and that's not the case. So,
and
if I restart my browser, then it's gonna cut me out of this. So, let's I have the next topic anyway, don't I? I'm gonna let this sit, and we're gonna come back to this. All right, so switching gears. Well, actually, before we do that, I'm gonna add this back to the stream. All right, so for whatever reason, my stuff's not working. I think I need to restart my browser. But these artifacts or these power sources now available on OpenSea, and you can see that they're trading for 2.75 ETH already. And so these are the different power sources. And the most rare looks to be this hollow. So again, we don't know what they do yet, but they definitely help with like gameplay in the future. So I'm hoping that I get something good.
Do you think this is the most expensive game ever made?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Set a record?
Oh, sorry. I got really distracted by KB's comment here.
The heist.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody is a big gamer, because we are not. Really curious to know, like, if this is on track to be one of the most expensive games just to play all in. Be very curious. But yeah. And KB, we're a huge fan of the heist project as well.
Yeah, so KB looked in my wallet and sees the heist. So the heist is a really rad little NFT project. I believe they are still minting. They've been a very slow mint, but they continue to be very active in their Discord, and they're actually a really fun community, and the artwork is fun. So
yeah, and we have
I like this too.
I don't think we've done a dedicated episode on heist, but we did do an episode where I built out a gallery using heist. It was something through World of Women. So maybe we'll link that in the description box below. But all right, so they're available on secondary. I'm going to end up burning this thing, and we'll make a short of it because this is just obnoxious at this point. But to wrap things up, we have Beeple. So this past weekend, he had his studio open in Charleston, and I had the amazing opportunity to be there the entire weekend. So he kicked things off on Friday night with a private sort of studio tour and then a dinner. And what was really, really cool about this is the studio, like the private gallery tour, was just one part of the event space. So the Beeple Studios, if I had to like kind of just quickly describe them, it's almost 4 different parts, if you will. There's the sort of traditional gallery. So when you walk in, you see large prints, you see his kinetic sculptures, the things that look kind of like giant refrigerators that circulate. Those are in there. Some video content, but very much set up like a traditional sort of art gallery. So that was open on Friday night. And then Saturday night, the event that was open to those who were able to get tickets was like the whole sort of event space. So the traditional gallery, and then there was the whole digital gallery that was the immersive experience, which was so over the top and out of control. And then they have their offices that, of course, nobody had access to. And then they have an outdoor patio space. So the weekend was sort of first night, traditional gallery space, second night, fully immersive, digital. And then Sunday, it was kind of like everybody saying farewell, not at the space, but just like taking off. So there's a few different points that I want to bring up about the event as a whole. And so this is a great article that we'll post that has some still images. from the event. And if you've seen people posting content online, see there were a bunch of Mark Zuckerbergs. You can see Andy Warhol in the background. We had Kim Jong-un. We had Elon Musk. And then there
That
were a
was
bunch of
such a good idea.
people.
Tim.
Yes, it was unreal. So I walk in and I'm like, oh my God, that looks like Elon Musk. And I was like, holy shit, is that Elon Musk? Like people are taking photos with him. And then I looked further and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Because their heads were just slightly too big
Just a
to be
little.
realistic. They have they're amazing, amazing masks. So
Yeah, she
these
sent me a text message of her with Jeff Bezos, and I couldn't tell if it was a wax figure or somebody who looked very close to Jeff Bezos, and I was like, "Oh my
yeah.
god, what's happening?"
So oopsies. There we go. I realized I wasn't showing this just a second ago. These are stills from the event. There's Beeple himself. Got some ads here. Oh, this photo I wanted to show. So this is Kimball Musk, Elon's actual brother, was there. He stands out in a crowd always because he's usually the tallest person in the room, always has a cowboy hat on, and always has a giant belt buckle on. So I would
Wait,
just
what if
wish
Elon was in the room and he put a mask on of himself?
he could have, and people were saying that he did that. So of course, like rumors are spiraling around, that he was there and did that, but that is not the case. Then
Mm.
so that was kind of like the setup of the event itself. And then we're going to go through some tweets here because I think they do a really good job of summarizing the event. This, I think, is incredible. So here's someone, I have no idea who they are, kind of reflecting on the weekend. And because we are not the same as traditional art, yet we're very much connected. This event was a story in two parts. The first part was embracing the classic, a nod and an ode to the museum gallery exhibit. Part two is a chaotic, immersive experience that was truly beautiful. And I think that that sums everything up perfectly because I met a few people who were on more of like the traditional gallery side. They were from the Documenta
Mhm.
art festival that only happens every 5 years. And they were just like, hi, I'm from the other world, the other side, the traditional art world. But it was like everyone kind of said it in a fun way. It wasn't people like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm more digital or I'm more traditional. It was just like, hi,
Yeah.
shaking hands, we're meeting in the middle. It was a
This is
very, very cool mix of people.
this is definitely a significant moment in the art world. Like, I can remember learning in art history classes about the modern art gallery shows and, like, the Duchamp toilet and
Hmm.
everybody being like it's just this big clash of 2 different thoughts about art in the same world and being like, did people really stick their nose up at all this modern art? Like, it seems weird now because it's so mainstream, and this is, like, the
Hmm.
same thing happening. That's so cool that
Yeah.
you were there watching it. Blow my
Yeah.
mind.
It was wild. I thought, is it in this art or this article? I'd read a quote, and it's got to be up somewhere, and I can't find it right now. That had people had said in an interview, and he
Mhm,
said, and this is quotes: "We wanted to build a space where we could program multiple different types of artist showcases and experimental community events. While the studio is not yet open to the public, it will allow people to register for time slots to visit the gallery." So his whole goal with this is to create this sort of community space, and that's
mhm,
honestly what I felt so much that I took away just with such friendly vibes that this is a person with an entire team behind him, of course.
mhm,
And they all just really care about the space. I feel like they're ultimately Web3 advocates because they invited so many people to submit artwork and they were showing it in the gallery
mhm.
space, just really trying to help foster the entire space. Um, this is from the more traditional side of the gallery. So we have Picasso and
Kim Jong-un.
yeah, just but I wanted to show this picture because you can see the sheer scale of this artwork. It
Yeah,
is massive, massive, massive. I mean,
that's
it just
interesting that his digital art render is that big.
he has a team of fine artists that do it. They paint.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like a print or okay, so those are all actually painted. Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Some other things from the evening. Oh, this one I'm showing because I feel like it does a really good job of um, giving you can see the whole digital space and the actual size and scale again.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Okay. You may have heard about a literal airdrop that happened at the event. Did
Yes,
you hear about this? Okay.
I sure
This
did.
this was amazing. I mean, it was a literal airdrop. People stood, if you can kind of see, you probably can't see my cursor here very well. He's right here, like in this area over here. So
Mhm,
fixed in the center of this room was this console that he did the live art from, and it
mhm.
had this giant red button that periodically when he would hit, that's when the literal airdrop would happen. So they had, I think it was either 6 or 8 printers up in the ceiling, like disguised with these black boxes so you didn't like notice them at all until the airdrop would happen. And so this is how it went down. So the screen would change, you can see it says incoming airdrop,
I
and
bet
now we see
everybody
the
put their
papers.
phones down so fast. Yeah.
Yeah,
"Oh, my phone, I don't want this anymore."
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it was wild, and I didn't even try. I was like, "This is" it could have ended poorly, but it did
Yeah, I was gonna
not,
say it
like,
could have been like a
luckily.
stampede or like a fight for the
Yeah.
airdrop.
I mean, literally paper ripping, and it was yeah,
They're
but
probably just like printouts too from a
they were,
regular
I forget.
schmegular printer, like an HP printer.
I talked to the guy, and I can't remember what he said. No, the quality is really good though. Like they've got a whole setup there. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And this was sort of the aftermath of that. So all of the different artwork that people had created live there, these are what was airdropped, and then this was the final piece. And of all of those papers that were airdropped, they were not consistent editions. So like let's say this first print up here, this was, I don't know, print one, I don't know what it's called, but they had an edition of maybe 80 of those, while the last one maybe only had an edition of 7. So even within
Mm.
these
There's
that came from the
rarity.
printer, exactly. And of these papers that were printed out and literally airdropped, if they had a red dot on them, one of each of these sort of editions had a red dot, and that one got the NFT for it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you literally could have caught a piece of paper and, really have done
Cashed
well
out
for
pretty
yourself.
good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I did meet the guy who ended up getting this the everyday, like the one of one, and he's like a Chicago dude. So
Amazing. That's
I met
exactly what I wanna hear.
yeah, I found like the Chicago people, and there are a few people that I'd recognized, and I walked up to them because a bunch of them were sitting together, and I'm like, "Hey, is this like where the Chicago Web3 meetup is?" And luckily, the joke landed. So, um, but this image here was not in the gallery space until the live was done. So they basically were printing these, framing them, getting the digital frame up and ready to go, like in the back, as Beeple was out front doing this in real time. And every time he hit that red button, it would not only trigger the paper to print and do the little airdrop, but it also would push that NFT to OpenSea. So there was a lot of scripts going on at the same time to make all of these operations like execute at the same time. And that brings me to one of the last points that I wanted to make. And that was about just like the family nature of the event as a whole. So Beeple is just like a guy from the Midwest, and his family
Mhm.
is, I think, pretty important to him, and they're kind of involved in the business in some aspects and in others. And I just know that they did dry runs of the airdrop, to make sure that it was perfect for their show. And like their family was there helping them, sweeping paper, anything that they needed, anything that they could do to contribute, even if they didn't know how to make an NFT or what was going on in this
That
space. And
is so Midwest. It's
I
so
just thought it was
sweet.
so cool. Yeah, I thought it was just really, really nice.
Yeah.
And I think it makes what they're doing, like Beeple Studios, that much better, because they've brought people with them from when they grew up that are working within the business, because they have the talent and the trust is there. It's just,
I love that.
yeah, it's very cool. And then, okay. So this was very, very cool. This is showing the 3D art for all of the artists that had submitted their work here, and that was in the digital space. And this last one, I thought I had it open, but the founder of Squiggles was there, and he had a physical printer on him. So some of the lucky attendees, like if they were a squiggle holder, actually got a printout of their squiggle and got it signed by him as well. So there was a lot at Beeple. There's a lot that I could continue to talk about, but I think the biggest things are they are definitely pushing Web3 forward. This space is not going anywhere anytime soon. And I feel like Charlotte is going to become some sort of weird degen hub, and I am here for it.
Well, I mean, that one of the ultimate degen is there, right? So,
yeah,
I would say so. But I mean, not only Web3, it's also a huge leap for digital artists everywhere. I mean, this is a medium that I started in when I was a kid that was always a joke. And I always took it seriously. Like when I was a teenager, I was like, oh, I really want to learn this. I was like, isn't this amazing? But the quality wasn't there in the early 2000s, in the late 90s to make what we can make today with computers, not only in visual art but also in audio, and things are so advanced now, all photography and animation. It's definitely reached the tipping point where I mean, I've always seen it as a high art form, even when it was pixels back in the day. But now I feel like it's really official. That feels like a very significant moment.
Yeah.
That being said, one last question for you. What was your personal favorite part of the whole experience?
I think that it was. I know. I think it's the way that the event was not that it was so well executed, so well thought through holistically all the way around, from just having the lookalikes walking around to animatronic heads through a peephole to even going to the bathroom, which I'd sent you that video.
Oh, yes.
I went into the women's bathroom, and if you saw our clip on Twitter, there's a short, and the Trump breastfeeding painting was in the bathroom. So you walk into the women's bathroom, and Beeple has recorded himself talking about poop. And it's just the audio that's playing in the bathroom. It just loops through, and it's just everywhere you turned around, you were in the experience, you were part of it. And it felt like it could have been any sort of project event at a major, major NFT conference. It was very well executed.
Well, I very much enjoyed getting the footage from you in the bathroom at People's studio. That's not a worse than I meant it to be. She wasn't in doing anything in there. She was just showing the visual of that huge painting with Trump that was very risque, and the audio of people talking about pooping.
Yeah.
Actually, we should probably put that up on YouTube Shorts so people.
Oh, well, yeah. I've got a bunch of shorts I need to make.
It's pretty funny. Yeah. I think you should just take the actual message you sent me, even though it's between us, just because it's funny.
Yeah.
Would you guys enjoy that? Speak now or forever hold your peeps.
Some BTS of Lux and I in our messaging, some one-on-one messaging.
KB wants it. He said, send me that video, but then ... JK. So you don't want it. All right.
We won't post it then.
All right. So that's it for today, for tonight.
Really sorry about the burn fail. I think it's because I switched wallets.
Yeah, I think a bunch of viewers dropped off when you couldn't figure it out.
Totally. I know. Just our ratings
plummeted. They were like, oh, yeah. These two clowns in face paint. I'm out of here. So with that, thank you for joining.
Yes.
Like and subscribe. And we will do one of these again. probably next week, if not the week after that.
Yep. Awesome.
All right.
Bye.
We're out of here.